Welcome to the fitness podcast Beyond the Workout, featuring your host, Coach E, where we give you health and fitness tips that go beyond the gym and help you along your fitness journey. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. This is Coach E, Eric Dunston. I'm welcoming back someone that you've probably heard 2 years ago. I think before COVID, he was on this show. He is the one and the only one. Anyway, once I give you his name, maybe you'll remember him. I would say go back and listen to some of my earlier shows. Sorry for any background noise you might hear. My sister-in-law is over here, but anyway. Her and Michelle are just cracking up. Can you hear that? Oh, well, let me stop that. I'm not going to ask him any questions until I properly introduce him. Again, he is the one and the only Derek Jerome Trotter. Welcome back, Derek.
Welcome. Wait a minute. Thank you. Glad to be here.
It's been that long since you did radio, or podcast.
That's right.
You know, everybody can see you too, man. So behave yourself because they can see you on YouTube. So
on YouTube.
Right.
Okay.
So, okay. So
hello, YouTubers.
We're gonna just get right to the, cut to the chase, because when you were on here before, we focused on fitness. And I'm gonna throw a surprise at you too. You don't know what the surprise is gonna be, but it's gonna kind of put you on the spot. It's gonna put you on the spot, but it's gonna put you on the spot in a good way to get you doing what you need to be doing, not in a fitness way. And look, y'all, he's drinking on the job. So y'all can't hear that if you're listening to this, but this guy is actually drinking now. Not gonna ask him what's in the cup, but it better be water.
Gotta keep my whistle wet.
I guess that's what I should do. I got my bottle of water here. Anyway, so straight to the point, because you were on here, and the goal for you to being on my show was to talk fitness. And I know one thing that people don't like to talk about, and more honestly don't want to do, is fitness. I know how hard it can be, but what's been going on with your fitness? How have things been going on with you and fitness? Just be straight up honest, Have you been doing it?
Yeah, no. Well, that's more.
You say yeah, then you say no.
No, it's since the last time I was on this show, I have I've done a lot. There've been a lot of changes, and then what they call backsliding. So kind of the old dreaded yo-yo thing. So since the last time I was on your show, I joined a program where I lost close to 70 pounds.
Wow.
Over the course of 3 months, 4 months.
I don't think that's healthy, is it? To lose 70 pounds in 4 months?
No, it wasn't healthy. So I began to like the results the way I was looking. But I also quickly noticed that it was way too fast. It wasn't healthy.
That's what I wanted to ask about, because I wanted to kind of break things down. Like, what was your eating like? Because I'm gonna start from your instruction. What was your trainer like? I think you had told me that. What was the trainer like?
The trainer was a bit much. She was very militant.
Yeah.
And it was a reason she was militant. So she had different versions of her program, and I joined the most extreme one. So I think she does have some that are probably in line with being more healthy. But I joined the more extreme one, and she was just very militant, and it was very regimented, very strict. Which led to a lot of the weight loss. It did. But you were asked about the eating.
Yeah.
I could eat very little. Very little.
But it was nice meals, because you would show me pictures of your what was it, your breakfast. Your breakfast looked like healthy egg white omelets with vegetables in it,
Mm-hmm.
and you loved it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I couldn't do that every day. So I more or less could chew once a week.
What? What?
So
What?
yeah,
That's what she said.
I could, that was part of the program. So
Chew
I could
once a week.
chew once a week. So I could, mostly I could do broth. I could do sugar-free Jello, as many as I wanted, whatever. But I could only chew once a week. So sometimes it would be that breakfast that you saw, but most times it was Sunday dinner, and whatever I ate could fit, had to be able to fit on a saucer. Um, and that was all I could eat. So, and I had to do 128 ounces of water every day, which is probably the toughest part for me because I'm not a water drinker.
That'd be it.
But
That'd
of
be
course,
hard
once I
for.
got in the habit, it was yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be
But
hard for
once you get
anyone.
into the habit, yeah, yeah. And so I had to do this on camera. Every time I drank water, I had to prove I was drinking the water. So I had to do it on camera, and they had to see me. Oh, also every morning I had to do a shot. I say shot because I use a shot glass, but I had to do ACV
Oh,
with 8 ounces of water.
and what ACV is apple cider vinegar.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So
And so I would do that. I hate vinegar in general, but I would do that with 8 ounces of water. That 8 ounces does not count towards the 128. So, and you had to do that, of course, again, on camera so that she could see it and prove that it was done. Also, I had to weigh in every morning at the exact same time on camera so that she could see it. And if if I went up by an ounce, or even worse, if it went up by a pound or something, then there were things taken away,
consequences.
like the Jellos and
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
So
so she punished you.
yeah,
So let
and
me
so
pause.
there was
Let me
mhm.
pause you right there. Let me pause you right there, because
Okay.
I've offered to assist you in your training, but you
Hmm.
quickly fired me and another person because
Right.
you said we were a bit tough on you, and it was just the
Yeah. Absolutely.
weightlifting was a little tough, and it really wasn't me; it
Absolutely.
was the other guy because he was pushing
Yeah.
me the same way.
Yeah.
And
And
then
he
you
said the
said,
same thing about you, but yeah.
"Yeah, yeah, I'm sure he did," but he killed both of us. But she, she was terrible to you, man. I would never look if I get a colonic.
She was.
I don't think you've ever had a colonic. I don't think it's time for you to get that.
No.
But when you have a go through a colonic, you go through those jellos, and the day before, and then 12 hours you
Mhm.
can't eat anything. It has to be straight liquid until midnight. Man, one day I can't handle jello. I can't
Right.
imagine 3 months of jello. Um,
Yeah.
but that's rough. And we don't have to dwell on her because I would never recommend something like that. I would hope you
Yeah.
never do anything like that. But the question I wanted to ask you is, where did you
Mhm.
plateau? I mean, when that 70 hit, did everything just stop? You lost 70 pounds,
Yeah.
but where did you hit the wall?
I hit a wall, and so and of course by that time me and her weren't necessarily getting along either. But I hit a wall, and I never, I didn't wasn't gaining necessarily, but I wasn't dropping.
Right, right.
And because that's her extreme program, she needs to see me drop, but I wasn't dropping. And so anyway, and so we kind of had a little back and forth, and I just decided it wasn't for me. It wasn't.
So when you hit the wall and you couldn't lose that weight anymore, you realized that it wasn't helping you um, mentally, emotionally, physically, and all that. I mean, you went back against your trainer. Y'all had a little tiff, I guess you'd say, not a real falling out.
Mm-hmm.
But once the body gets to a certain point, it's going to get into a survival mode. It's going to hold on to weight that it needs to live. So you can't. I always tell people we can go to extremes to lose the weight. You can do liquid diets for 3 months and you'll lose all the weight you want. But it's not sustainable. And then when you start a program and you go through all that, you got to ask yourself, a year from now, would I still be doing this? Could I still do this a year from now? Could I do it even as a maintenance program 3 years from now? And the answer is going to always be no, because to answer that thought, could you continue to do it? Have you had Jello since?
I don't think so. Definitely not the sugar-free Jello. Or the broth. I still have some of the broth because I would buy those prepackaged broths. I still have them. They're still sitting in the house. I haven't touched them.
Right, and that's because of the energy it gives you or doesn't give you. It's a mental thing, and I know it brings back that moment of what you had to experience. But you did tell me it helped your health issues, right? You have what are some of your health issues, and it helped with that? What were the health issues you have, if you care to say?
Yeah, I have high blood pressure and diabetes, and so once I got and high cholesterol, I don't take medicine for that, but once I started to lose weight, almost immediately, this is before it was even close to the 70 pounds. The medicine, when I would take my medicine, I would then get sick. So one of the ways that I realized that I had diabetes was I started getting blurred vision. And I was like, what's going on? Why can't I see? And so I knew something was wrong with me then. I started working out on my own. Not thinking diabetes, just like, what's going on with my eyes? So I got diagnosed, like, oh, that's what it is. Okay. So I had to go get fitted for some glasses and things like that. I started working out, and then what would happen is, or I started losing weight. And what would happen is that when I would put the glasses on, everything would get blurry. And I was, well, this is strange. When I take them off, now I'm fine.
Uh-huh.
And the more weight I lost, at one point I didn't even know where my glasses were. I didn't need them at all.
Wow.
My doctor told me to cut back on the medicine. I started taking medicine less and less and less, until I wasn't taking it at all. And so,
wait a minute, you got off the medicine totally? I thought you just reduced it.
No, I got off. I didn't have to take it.
Off which one? Both?
I got off the blood pressure medicine.
Blood pressure. Okay.
Yeah. And so, but again, there were some benefits to it, but there was for one, like you said, I knew I couldn't continue to do this forever. I was very strict with myself for those 3 months or so, but continuing that, it was just it wasn't sustainable.
Did you lose motivation even to this day?
Absolutely.
So so your motivation, what were you going to say? Look like you're going to say something.
No, yeah, I did, but in part because of her. It was just a lot of back and forth, and I almost started to almost like rebel against
right
what she was saying, and because there were groups of us, so seeing other people drop out, some of the people in my group, this was their second or third time being in the program, and just paying attention to, well, if it worked, why is this your second or third time here? And these weren't small people, which means you lost a lot of weight, you gained a lot of weight back.
Right.
And so it just, I didn't want to have to go through that. So there were positives I took away from it that I felt like I could just do on my own in terms of the diet.
You say what?
In terms of the diet portion of it. And some of the exercises, I did maintain it for after I quit for maybe 2 more months after that, and then I started treating myself. And I kept treating myself.
You kept treating-
And I'm still treating myself.
You're right. So, and to me, that's where that's where the programs should take you to through is education and self motivation. But it's not easy um to do the healthy thing, to uh shop healthy, to meal plan, to meal prep, to exercise 30 minutes every day for 5, 6 days a week. But it's easier to pop that pill and medicine and go about your day, right?
Unfortunately, yeah. For me, I don't know about other people, but that's what I started thinking. Like, well, I'll just take the pill, let the pill do whatever it does inside of me, and you know, go grab my burger and all that grease. The pill will take care of all that grease and fat, and I'll go on about my business. That's the. It's just the easier way, especially if you have a busy lifestyle and you lack that motivation.
So why?
It's
That's
just
what I want.
just let the pill do it.
That's what I want to. That's what I've been wanting to tap into because I've been seeing on
Mm-hmm.
social media now. A couple of I don't follow every fitness influencer out there, but there's two that I do follow, and I noticed they started talking about motivation, and I know why trainers will start now talking about motivation because going into the new year, they want you to tap into that and keep that going because normally we start that motivation. I mean, we start that training program in January, and then they always say you go through a few of those holidays, and when you get to Valentine's Day, wait, what comes first, Valentine's Day or Super Bowl? Which one? Is it Super Bowl after? I'm not sure, but it's Valentine and then Super Bowl, whichever one hits. When is the Super Bowl? When is the Super Bowl?
First week of February.
Okay, so it's the Super Bowl, then Valentine's. That's what they say. The Super Bowl, you just fall off track, and then Valentine's, you just gone. And then they say people start saying, you know what, this is too hard. Driving to the gym, doing all of this. But for you, what is it specifically? So we can know from you who's gone through such a program as you did, who who's says you lack motivation. What is it? What do you pinpoint as your struggle with motivation? What is it?
Um, I don't. I mean, I don't like the rigors of exercise. Um, Waking up early because for me, the best time for me to work out, even when I was losing the weight in that program, I would get up super early every morning, 5:36, hit the gym or go to the track, do my stairs. Sometimes I would do upwards of, you know, 1,000 stairs a day, something like that.
I remember that.
Um, yeah, and which was one of the exercises that I didn't mind as much. But getting up, it's just easier to sleep a little bit longer, head to work, and count my steps while I'm at work. Try to get those 10,000 steps, but it's just easier not to go, and it's even worse because I still pay my gym membership every month. Um,
But you don't go?
and I don't go. Yeah.
Well, it's only $10 a month, right? Planet Fitness.
I, I think
Is
I pay
it?
the 20 because I get
Oh,
a guest sometimes.
oh, okay. And you can use the massage chairs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At least go and get on the treadmill for 10 minutes and get in the massage chair for 20 minutes. Do a 30
Well,
minute.
the treadmill was my favorite thing. The treadmill was my favorite thing. I would hit the treadmill, and my goal would be because the goal was starting out. The goal was 10,000 steps a day, so I would
Mm-hmm.
try to get 10,000 steps in before 7 or 8 o'clock, and then the rest of the day is a bonus. So I would get on the treadmill, I put my phone up there, watch a couple shows,
Mm-hmm.
um, and get it done. But yeah, over time, it just the motivation just faded. I still tell myself, you know what, I'm gonna start tomorrow. I'm gonna start tomorrow.
And tomorrow
And
always comes, and the time to start it always comes, right?
there you go.
Tomorrow always
There you
comes, and
go.
the time you're gonna start
Tomorrow's
always gonna be coming. So the thing about I don't know what can actually motivate you, but I want to be all honest here. Do you how much training exercise do you think I do as a personal trainer? What is your vision of me? What do you think I do? Just say a day in the life of Coach E would be what kind of workout program?
I assume you do some form of workout every day. I don't know about how long you do it. Maybe 30 minutes to an hour or something. But I assume you're doing some form of exercise every day.
Okay. Well, my what's today? Friday? I did 30 minutes today. But I did walk in my neighborhood for 20 minutes. I went out, did a
Okay.
walk. It was time for my 15-minute break from work, from doing my business. And I just said, let me go do my walk. And I've started scheduling that. It was a bit nippy out. It felt good. I made it into 20 minutes because it felt good. I was outside. But typically my workouts are 10 to 15 minutes. And they're not every day. So on a Monday, I train Monday and Friday, I train with someone on Zoom. I just tell him it's like he's 23 years younger than me. So we kind of like challenge each other. And so we talk a lot. So it might go to 40 minutes, but we're actually working out for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then the rest of the time I don't do anything. I might go out for a walk that day. And that's it. And then the next day, like that's on a Monday. On a Tuesday, when Michelle is working, I'll take some dumbbells out into the living room and I'll do a 5 to 10 minute. I'll do about 5 minutes of workout, something real light. Then Wednesday is about 15, 20 minutes. Thursday, same thing, about 5, 10 minutes. Then, like I said, Friday is 30 minutes. And Saturday, I pretty much do nothing but probably walk. So
Not bad.
it's not always workout, workout, workout. But here's the thing. Your your fitness, as they always say, what you want to get out of fitness is going to always start in the kitchen. It starts in the kitchen. It starts right there in that kitchen. It starts with what you put in your mouth, the food you put in your mouth. But here's the one thing I wanted to tell you and those who are listening. I want you to consider what you're asking of yourselves. What are we asking for ourselves to become? Why do we lift? What is our goal for exercise? Do you want to look like your younger self? Well, that's not going to happen. I can tell you, genetics are going to be the thing that's going to get in your way. You're not going to have that young, fresh look, and you're not going to have that body like when you were young. Do you want to look like a pro bodybuilder? The pros, what they put in, the hours and the time and the supplements they use. Do you want to look like a pro baller, a LeBron James or an Adrian Peterson? Do you want that? Or do you want to look like these movie stars who are in shape like The Rock or Sylvester Stallone? If you want to look like that, my question is why? Why do you want to look like a pro bodybuilder? Why do you want to look like a pro baller? Why do you want to look like a movie star? They look great, but they put in time. They put in hours. They got the resources. They got the chefs. All of this stuff to make them look like they want to look. Things that we don't have. And then you got to keep asking yourself, why do you want to look like that? What is it going to do for you? Um, you don't want to you don't want your goals to be those extraordinary goals because they're going to be mentally and physically tasking to you. Because I like those days when I was a competitive bodybuilder. I mean, I wasn't a professional, I was an amateur bodybuilder, but I liked how I looked off season. But I was young, I was in my 20s, and I felt okay, I look good. But dude, that ain't real. I can't be that. So what is your personally, what is your end goal? What do you see? You know, I wanted to go through this extreme program with this trainer, but what is your end goal? What do you see yourself looking like, feeling like, and just being like? What do you see? Can you talk on that just briefly?
Yeah, I there was a time when I wanted to look like some of those guys you mentioned. Um, and probably at those time I might have could have done it because I was a lot younger. Now I don't think about that as much. It's more about how I feel like when I wake up in the morning, how I feel if something's hurting or or whatever the case may be. It is still a lot of it is still cosmetic. I do want to look good in my my clothes, and I go to the beach with the wife. I want to take off the old t-shirt and feel okay taking off the old t-shirt. You know, and so I think about those types of things. But do I have like a this picture model of what I want to like? Not necessarily. I do have a lot in the old beer belly. I want that gone, but everything else, I just want to be more healthy. I don't like taking medicine. I don't like taking.
All right,
So
so why don't
that's
we?
a big part of it.
Well, won't you write that down as a goal to get off your medicine? You know, starting today, you can say, you know what, my goal is going to be to get off that medicine. Just not saying starting the program or any program, you write that down. 1 year from today, I want to be off my medicine. That's your goal. You write that down. And then think about, I always tell people to identify as something or someone as their superhero because I identify as a bodybuilder. I mean, over 40 years of doing this. In fact, I calculated I've been into lifting weights for 45 years. And I'm like, wow, that's a long time. Now, have I been consistent for 45 years? No, when I got married, I probably slacked for like 2 of those years. Then I noticed I was putting on weight and I told Michelle, I got to get back to the gym. And I want everybody to know that we as trainers, we find it hard to do too. This is tough for us. Being motivated is tough for all of us. To talk about it, um, to be involved with the business of it, keeps our mind on it. But we're kind of like addicts, you know. It's like in our blood. This is what we do, and we can't force our feelings, our knowledge, our emotions on other people. We can't say you must be like us. So we got to think about what people need to do for themselves to accomplish their end goal. Um, my thing is do the small things first. So here's some things I want you to think about doing each and every day um, for your program. Go out for a walk every day. And the way you do it is schedule the walk in your calendar. So for me, my day is scheduled for a 15-minute walk at 9:45 a.m. Then the next one is 11:45 a.m. Now, I don't start exactly, the alarm will go off and I say, oh, time for my break. Now, let's say it's pouring outside. Well, you could do maybe some light cardio in your living room or wherever you are at work. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of jumping jacks, some high knees, and some air squats. I'm gonna do this for 10 minutes and rest and do that. You're moving, keep moving. But that's what you do. You walk every day in a 15-minute block. You pick a time for, you can do it one time. And the way I've been showing on my social media, if you do 15 minutes, you walk 7.5 minutes one way, turn around and walk 7.5 minutes back. And if you got the time in your schedule, make it 10 minutes out and 10 minutes back. If you have even more time, go 15 minutes out and 15 minutes back. So then you got a 15-minute, 20-minute, or 30-minute walk in for the day. You've moved. And in fact, I'm gonna actually put the link here. I have I'm gonna send it to you too. I'm gonna put a link here on YouTube, and I have a little walking program, 4-week walking program I put together. And you can actually tap on it and do the little check marks on it. I'm gonna share that with you. You try it, just see how many check marks you get for that week and get for the next week. And on the calendar, on the diagram, it has 15, 20, and 30 on it. And I'm telling you, which days do your 15-minute walk, which days do your 20. Once you say, and then in the first week starts off kind of easy. I think you got 1 30-minute in the first week. So if you say, okay, on Monday, I'm gonna do this 15-minute walk. He said go down 7.5, come back. Then tap it and they'll check it off. Then you go again and do it again and just keep tapping through it. Make it real easy. So that's the first thing I'm gonna suggest for you. Then the next thing I want to suggest for you is to focus on nutrition in this way. Eat what you want to eat, but make it small meals, but try to think about them being nutritious meals. So let's just say you want fried foods. You want fried chicken or something like that, whatever you can fry. You can oven fry stuff. You can air fry stuff. You have an air fryer?
I do.
So use your air fryer. Don't use the grease and fat. So think about things like what I can do. Air fryer, is very good. You know, I'm gonna put a link to some of the ones I recommend here from Amazon. And then if you like ice cream, which I know you can't have ice cream because you have a milk allergy, right?
Right.
So if you want ice cream, I back in the day, back when I was just consuming a lot of ice cream, I switched over to frozen yogurt. It was an alternative. It still tastes great, tastes like ice cream. I felt like I was having ice cream. But then I said, okay, I don't want the ice cream, the fat, and all the sugar. So I switched to frozen yogurt. Now I do a vegan ice cream, which you could do, right? So now I switched over to those, and you kind of taste test what are good, what tastes good. Then after that, hire a coach if you can. And you hire a coach that listens to you, hire a coach that will work with your abilities, your desires, your limitations, which you're limited by work, family, and your own health. And the last thing I want to say is hire a coach that teaches you what to do. And here's why I say that, because back in the late 80s, I worked with a guy. The guy's name was Paul, and we worked at a tire company together. And he's from Ghana, Africa. And he walks in and we were working together. And he looks at me and says, how you do that? How you do that? I said, do what? Just matter of fact, how you do that? I said, do what? He said, look like you do. What do you do? Look like you do. I said, oh, I work out. Tell me what you do. Just tell me what you do. Tell me. So I just started telling him, well, do this. I kind of told him what my program was. Didn't know what he was going to do with it. But he went. What I said, he went into the gym and did it. And then when he had problems with it, he said, well, this doesn't feel right. I'm trying to do this move. I said, oh, you got to do it this way. So he went and did it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And I wasn't around to see him, but I saw his transformation. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Because he would always bring his food to work. And he would always have croakers, the fish, croaker fish and rice. That's all he would have. Say, dude, don't you get sick of that? But he would consistently bring his own food. He wouldn't eat out. And the man transformed. And I just found out, I contacted him this year and just found out he's 11 years older than me. And I'm like, 11 years? And you got, so back then, I don't remember how old I was, and because it was before I was married. So I got married at 29 in 94. So I was in, what was that? I was probably about 22, 23 years old, I guess, if they got the math right. But he was 11 years older than me, and he was making those. Huh? Yeah.
So that means he was around knocking at 40.
Right. He was knocking at 40, and the man, the changes he made. So keep that in mind. I want you to just do your walking. Do your walking. Eat, but and eat like portion control. Eat what you want, but don't consume. Don't overtreat yourself now. You know, the double cheeseburgers, the pizzas and stuff. Eat those. You can make those like a foodcation, meaning that's a vacation day each week. So you might eat good 6 days and make that seventh day like, you know what? I'm gonna relax this day, but still don't overconsume. Don't stuff yourself because we all struggle with motivation. We all do, even me. Michelle is a guru in the gym, but we work out at home. And the one thing I'm going to recommend for you is get a set of those adjustable dumbbells, like the Bowflex dumbbells. If you can afford that, get you a set of those and prepare to lift weights at home. If you could get a set of those dumbbells and a bench. Now I'll put this. I mean, I got links to the bench I recommend. I'm gonna put it right here. Get a bench, get a mat, and get a set of those selectable dumbbells. Now I got two of them. I got the one from Bowflex to go from 5 to 52.5 pounds, and I just got the ones that go from 10 to 90 pounds because I just felt like I was getting stronger. And the goals you have for working out or the reason you do it, get stronger. Remember, you want to always be strong as you get older. You want to be working on your balance. And you want to work on your energy and you want to work on your rest. All of that is going to trickle down to you having these goals for motivation. And the last thing I'm going to say, because I don't want to keep you too long, and I thank you for coming on, as I learned this quote. I heard this from someone. That bad habit you might be in, look at it as a monster. And everything that you do that's wrong is feeding the monster. Stop feeding the monster. So when you eat bad, you feeding the monster of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, the diabetes. Stop feeding that monster. You want to get rid of that gut. The gut is the monster. Stop treating yourself where you're feeding the monster. Don't feed it anymore. Visualize that. Visualize what you want to look like in the future. Be your superhero, who you want to be. Not The Rock, not Adrian Peterson, not Sylvester Stallone either, even though he looks great in his 70s. You don't want to be that. LeBron James spends $1 million a year on his body, right? We can't afford that. But get someone that can encourage you. If you need a trainer, get someone that can encourage you to keep doing it, that can educate you to do it on your own. And if you keep that in mind, keep that vision. And for you, your goal is to get off that medicine. So you got a lot to be thinking about. You can make this happen, and any of you all listening can make this happen. So try to. How old are you, man? How old are you?
40. I think I'm 46.
46. So
yeah,
my thing is I work with pretty much anyone that want to do fitness, but my clientele is those over 50. And I go by the saying fit over 50. I don't want you to get to 50 and feel like you're in your 50s. I don't want you to feel broken. I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to know that you can keep going and have a healthy, strong body, even in your 50s, your 60s, your 70s. Now, maybe another time I'll talk about the 70-year-old client I have who is awesome. So, and she just wants it. She wants to be strong. She wants to work on her balance because she wants it. I want you to want it. I want everybody out there listening to want it. So, what are you going to do? You're going to start your walking? You're going to schedule it? You're going to do this?
I'm going to schedule my walking, put it down, and get my walks in. I enjoy my walks.
All right. We're going to make sure we do that every single day that's in a week. You might say, oh, try to just do it for 5. Nope. How many days in a week? That's how many you walk.
Okay. That's a nice start. It's a reasonable goal.
All right. So would you join me on again on this show, and we can talk some more and talk about your progress?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime you invite me, I'll be back and share my progress, my highs, my lows there. So I'm here.
Right. Okay. That's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap this up. The thing I want to say to those who listen to this, I want to thank you for listening to it. I want to thank Derek Charter for coming back on again. I always like having him on. I want to tell y'all he's hard to get on because he's working. He has a family. He's running around. I've been trying to get him to do this show, and it's like, okay, he's trying to find a connection for his mic. His mic sounds great. He got one of those Yeti mics. I like that. And you have anything you want to say to the folks out there about how you felt about this show or anything?
I enjoy the show. It's in a way therapeutic to talk about these things. I don't really talk about health in general. My health, I know what's going on in my head, but I don't talk about it with anybody else. So it's a way it's therapeutic. It's fun, and I'd love to come back.
Oh, and I did say I have a surprise for you, right? I had a surprise. I'm gonna put you on the spot, right?
Oh,
I said that. You said I like surprise. So Derek actually does his own podcast. Uh-oh.
That's right.
What's the name? What's the name of it? And how many shows have you done since last year? No, you don't have to say.
I do a sports podcast, and we're doing some rebranding right now, working on some things. But it's the Running Back podcast. We talk about sports and argue and fuss and discuss. So it's really fun. But we're doing some rebranding, and once we get it back up and running, because we took a hiatus. And once we get it back up and running, I got to come on and let your listeners know about it.
Okay, so when I have you back on, I'm gonna try to have you back on in a month, 2 weeks to a month. I'm gonna try to have you back on to see what your progress is, so you can motivate these folks. So this way it puts you on the spot. That's why it's a surprise. Now we want to not hear, oh, we're still rebranding. We want to know that, hey, I got that show out. We talked about this and that. Go and get a listen. You can tell me, Eric, put a link to it in your description here, and I'll do it. But you got to come back now. See, I give you a lot of goals. You got to come back with that show.
A lot of goals.
Ready.
I'll be back. So I'll be back with the show, and we'll have some fun.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to show a video, but I'm running into a lot of time here. I think I'll show you a video, just my struggles and I'll just show it next time. I'll just have it next time. I was going to show it for the YouTubers, but I got so into talking about your story and I've been enjoying it, but I'm going to let everybody go. I'm going to wrap up now. And again, thank you all for listening here. You take care of your health. And like I told Derek here, being healthy really starts in the mind, and it gets to your heart, and then it shows in your actions, and your actions got to start in the kitchen. And then you can do everything else with the sleep and the workout. The workout is the smallest part, but self-motivation starts. Make it a priority each and every day to do something fitness-wise. You all can do it. And I look forward to hearing any comments, any progress that you all out there have made. So reach out to me. You got many links that you can reach out to me on. And I thank you all again for listening. And this is Coach E signing out. Take care.